Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Seymour with Optimal Response Initiative, and we are continuing to talk about the health benefits of music. I want to talk about the part of the brain that is responsible for prediction, considering context, organizing, and planning, the prefrontal cortex. So, this is a part of the brain right behind our forehead, the prefrontal cortex. It is the top down chain of command. That's where the orders originate and then are sent down to the body about is this a survival situation? Is it a thriving situation? And it tells the muscles, the organs, the systems, if we're going to be all systems a go, or if we're going to be at a more at rest state, at ease state. So the prefrontal cortex is responsible for prediction, considering context, organizing, and planning. Now, when we combine this understanding with the context of military training and experiences, you can see how a lot of military training and experiences can really hone in on the prefrontal cortex being very wired to pay attention to threats, harm, and danger, be in survival mode, looking, scanning, waiting, always having a plan, always on the balls of our feet, always thinking something bad is going to happen, always being prepared, always being ready, stay alert, stay alive mode, and scanning and looking and organizing and planning for stay alert, stay alive context. Okay. Well, when we get out of those kind of situations, we are no longer in those situations. We're in day-to-day life for thriving. It can be really hard to pay attention and notice and plan and organize for the context of thriving. What I think is fascinating is that when we listen to music, music activates the predictive machinery of the brain. So the same area, the prefrontal cortex, it activates the predictive machinery of the brain, but it's doing it in a way that creates new neural pathways, maps, to predict and expect thriving things. Because when we listen to music, we are essentially going into new territory. And something happens in the music that surprises us and delights us. That is new territory. That is not a known thing, that we didn't know that was going to happen. And because of that, we're surprised, we're delighted, we're excited. It activates the physiology. It activates the predictive machinery of the brain. And since we're listening to music, it's a thriving situation. It's not a Kodiak Bear situation. It's a day-to-day life, new thriving territory situation when we listen to music. And we didn't even have to go anywhere or do anything new or different outside of our house. Not that I'm saying stay in your house. At least sit outside and listen to music and start to engage in your life a little bit at a time, a little bit more each day. But music is a beautiful, wonderful, efficient, effective way to begin to activate the brain to rewire and remap itself for entering new territory for thriving. And all you did was listen to music. That, to me, is exciting and powerful for healing and health. I thought this was kind of cool. So music creates new maps for thriving. So do you remember making mixtapes back in the day? Are you my age? Maybe you're younger. Well, even if you didn't do mixtapes, if you're too young to know what I'm talking about, you might have a playlist or an album that you listen to over and over. Your brain knows what song is starting next. It's like you can hear it before it even starts. You might even start singing the sentence of the next song before it even starts. Why? How do you know that that is the next beat, rhythm, song, sentence that's coming? Because the brain remembers it. When you've listened to a series of songs over and over, it creates new maps, predictive machinery, learning. We need to be able to predict things to learn. We need to be able to remember things to learn, and repetition is the best way to get things to long-term memory. The brain is a beautiful thing. And so when you're listening to music and when you listen to your favorite album, the song over and over again, it helps the brain predict for thriving, because you're essentially training the brain to predict what is coming next based on what it heard and experienced before. And in this way, you're recalibrating the survival stuff, being stuck in survival mode, predicting, expecting, looking for harm, threat, danger only, stay alert, stay alive mode. You're helping the brain recalibrate to also be able to thrive mode, train to thrive mode. And don't worry, because the survival stuff is not going away. You can't not jump and react if someone drops a ladder or a Kodiak bear is coming after you or something. You will fight, run, or freeze, and we do it without thinking. That's the beauty of the survival response. What's not so beautiful about the survival response or being stuck in the survival response is that we're stuck in the survival response and it's day-to-day life for thriving stuff that we're trying to engage in. So one of the best ways to begin to retrain the brain and recalibrate it to predict for thriving things is listen to music. How beautiful is that? Who would have thought that working to thrive would be about listening to music? In this way, it's not so much work, it's more enjoyable. So activate the predictive machinery of the brain to plan and organize and expect thriving things. Surprise, delight, and new territory can be found within the rhythm of music. Stay alert, stay alive, and thrive. The training, the thriving, the music playing does continue, and I'll see you soon.